This conference will now be recorded.
Did you start with?
Okay. All right, we're gonna call the Richland City Council meeting for May 11th to order. Everyone is here. Jason Moran is here with us as well. We'll do the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do we have any changes or anything to the agenda? Okay.
Unless you want to change the procedure for when you're going to do the bunkhouse ordinance.
I think we'll just leave it the way it is and then do that. Yep.
I move the agenda as presented.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda items?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda item.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Public comment we're gonna have right now. This is gonna be public comment for anybody that does not want to speak on behalf of the ordinance for the open meeting for the bunkhouse. We'll just do the regular public comment right this moment. So if anybody would like to speak that's not on the agenda? All right. Mr. Hanson, we'll have you come up now for your presentation then.
Very good. Good evening. Thanks for taking a couple minutes. My name is John Hanson. I teach in Waseca. I actually grew up in Waseca a long time ago and have been back teaching since 1991 and have always had a pretty strong passion for local history and always thought in retirement, which is a few years away, I would want to do a historical tour of Waseca because I appreciated the history of Waseca so much. Well, this came about and it led to ultimately an application for a grant, and we cooperated with the city of Waseca, and the grant was issued, and the grant allowed for us to create, basically it's a dual platform. It's a website as well as an app that you can, it's in the App Store, you can download it on your phone, but it's also a website. But you're like, why are you here? We'll get to that. It started as that project. It began to expand because we work with a company that allows us not just to have one tour, but to actually have a dozen tours. So we eventually met and collaborated with the county. So it was a school district and it was a city and it was a county project. And they asked if we would consider expanding it as a way to promote Waseca County. And so we took what was originally just a small project and over the last 3 years have now expanded it to a point of now unofficially saying we're finished. And I don't know if finished is an accurate word because it's constantly changing. I just saw something today that needed to be added. But there are 12 different tours on this project and it is now Explore Waseca County, which is why I'm here tonight. Or the county asked if I would come and share it with you just to make you aware of it. I'm not selling anything. There's nothing, there's no obligation or responsibility by the city of New Richland financially at all. All I'm here to do is just to make you aware that this exists because it includes 12 different tours, 4 of which include the histories of our communities. Okay, so obviously the Waseca one exists. There's a great history tour of Waldorf. There's a great historical tour of Janesville, and there is a great historical tour of New Richland. And I would say that none of those are entirely complete, and we even mentioned that we would love to expand and add, and it's an open, we are wide open for anybody that would like to add to it. But beyond the 4 historical tours, we use the opportunity as a way to promote Waseca County. So there is a tour of the schools of the county. So there are 16 different tour stops on the county schools tour, each of which highlights the schools. There's a videotaped interview with the principal. There are images, there are website links, there are social media, all of which you would need to really get to know what goes on in that school. And there are 16 of those within the county. There's an attractions and events tour, and there are 34 different attractions and events in our county. And it includes golf courses and bowling alleys and libraries, special community events. Farm and City Days is one of our tour stops. A variety of different things from within the county. 37 bars and restaurants stops, 10 accommodation stops. Yeah, the bars and restaurants is an interesting one. I teach my Waseca history, and we always kind of concluded that, I don't know about Richland, but Waseca loves its bars, its parks, and its churches. I don't know what that says about us, but then there's an accommodations tour, and there are 10 stops on the accommodations tour, 29 different shops that exist within Waseca County, 33 churches, and 25 parks also. Every park in the county, all the cities and all the rural parks are highlighted, including drone flyovers and all kinds of information about each of the parks, as well as another tour that includes the trails. So it's not all inclusive of everything going on in the county, but it talks a lot about what life is like in Waseca County. So if a potential visitor wanted to come to any of the communities in our county for any elements of what are on these tours, and the idea is that if it's on a website, which is very user-friendly, you can access all those tours and find out information, watch videos, images, information, and get navigation to it. If you download the app onto your phone, it takes you where you need to go. And when you stop at a certain spot, you can then visit, you can read about it, you can look at the images, you can watch videos. It's a really cool project that, like I said, is 3 years in the making. It's not complete. I'm quite certain as soon as it gets out there, somebody will say, well, how come this isn't there? How come that's not there? That's okay. I'm fine with that. I don't offend easily. If there's something within this community that we missed, we want to know that. And we want to be able to make it thorough so that we can promote everything in the communities of our county. The beauty of it is the county is picking up the tab on the annual subscription. The county is picking up the tab on the promotional materials. I would say that the community and the city leadership would decide from this perspective is how much you want to embrace. And I'm going to hand you this, and you can just disperse that. These are what we call rack cards, and those rack cards, we have established and set up a plan. So I made a comment about shops and everything else, but the idea is, as the county has said, we're willing to do this. Every shop, every school, every restaurant, we have a rack card holder and a set of rack cards to go in there. And if whoever the owner is wanting to and willing to, they're on it, they're on the tours, we'll put it in for them. Ideally, I would love it if somebody locally did that. I mean, I'm fine introducing myself to them. And my student who works with me is fine doing it, but it'd be great if I had somebody local to work with. You say, well, what about the ones that are not a brick and mortar? The county has also said, we love to get this all-weather sign and post this on the historical stops, post it at the parks, post it where the trails are, as a way of attaching and letting people know and promoting the project so that they have the QR code that takes them to the link to put the app on their phone or to go to the website. And what I like to tell people is all of what is on our project is pretty much found in other places. You have a fantastic set of volunteers that work so hard on your historical society. The project has the original history on it, much of which came from that. What we have on this project is pretty much all of those things, but in one place. And that's the idea of it, was to try and aggregate that. And my students, we taught and worked with them to try and develop those skills of deciding, is this important, is that important? How do we want to promote it? And so the idea is to say, once we found out we could have all these other tours, let's not just do the history, let's do other things that'll draw somebody to find out more about the county, if they're visiting, if they're here already, they're thinking about moving here, want to put their kids in school. That's the idea. So ideally, I would love to have a contact here that I could communicate with, that could be that point person that's not going to require much of them, but just somebody that could be that person to say, well, I think what we decided is we want a dozen of these because of the parks in town or the other stops in town, or we want to distribute those rack cards in a different way. So that would be ideal if somehow we could come about to that, and you and I can communicate later about that. But my intent was just to inform you. Not to sell anything, but just tell you this is now finished and it's there, and we're gonna, pretty much it's now, I mean, it's been live for quite a while, but it's in the App Store and the website's been live for quite some time, but now we can officially say, for the most part, it's done, but yet open for editing and changes and additions. So, questions?
Do you have more of these, or are they still printing them?
I have a lot more of them.
Okay, because June 3rd, our EDA is having a meeting, kind of inviting businesses to come and gather.
Yes.
So it'd be perfect to have these there, and we could distribute these
Well,
packets
sure.
if they want us to put them in their stores.
That would be awesome. Well, as much as I love to visit Richland and love to go door to door, it feels like I need a peddler permit. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I just want to do that. And my student, who is a senior and is on independent study, which is why tonight was so important, she's done at the end of May.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'll go. Yeah, well, okay. But it'd be better coming from you if it's right. So I have 200 of those holders and 2,000 of those cards.
I will meet up with
Is
you.
that enough?
I'm sure. I mean, I can coordinate something with you to
Yes.
drop them off at the
Yeah.
office at Waseca. The other thing is our EDA meeting we had tonight, we actually talked about you before this meeting, so I know. But our CETA program has an intern that's gonna be working with them from May or end of May until the end of December that could help kind of put some updated stuff with the historical.
Great.
So those are a couple things that we talked about at that meeting that maybe that would help you to update someone when they say, hey, it's not on there.
Yeah, that is excellent. And there is a gal that is now going to be hired by the county. It's a Waseca grad. She worked as an intern last summer, is
Okay.
very skilled at the project. My intent is to ultimately hand this over to the county for the county to kind of run it.
Sure.
But in the transition, I'm more than happy to work with it. And these are a nifty way for the non-brick and mortar,
Mhm.
like your parks and your other places, for people to be aware of it. And I don't know the level of social media that the city of New Richland has. That's another great way to just promote, all kinds of different things. Yeah. So, other questions?
Have you toyed with the idea of asking people to be volunteers to make it a guided tour of certain places?
Well, and see, that's, it's very interesting you say that, because what we did work with Waldorf and the Waseca tour, it is narrated. So you are GPS driven. So if you walk within a certain number of feet from one of the historical tour stops in Waseca and you have a headpiece in, the narration starts.
That's kind of that way.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, and,
Okay.
at which we have not got a narrated version of the New Richland tour. I would entertain someone who you trust as a really reliable voice. I would be more than happy to record them. Part of our grant was the recording equipment. It's not a hard thing to do, but yeah, that's a fun thing to incorporate with your community celebrations, to do whatever you can.
All right.
Other questions?
I don't think so.
All right.
Very cool.
Tyler knows how to get a hold of me. Janet knows how to find me.
I know how to find you.
Yes, wonderful.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
So,
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do with that.
Thanks for fitting me in.
All right. Okay. Resolution 26-07.
It's resolution 26-07, resolution entering into a construction agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for routine maintenance by the city upon along adjacent to Trunk Highway number 30. It's a very standard construction agreement that would cover the process and basically put the city in charge of the maintenance, not necessarily financially, but we would have it would be on us to enforce that the sidewalk is maintained, and no different than what we're doing everywhere else.
For those of you who aren't aware, it's gonna be sidewalks all the way on both sides, is it?
I believe
Yes.
so.
Of Highway 30,
Yes.
from west to east or east to west, however you want.
And they're
And the
changing,
state's doing it.
changing it
It's not
'cause-
costing us anything, I don't think, except maintenance time.
ADA compliant is what the reason they're doing it.
Yeah. So that should be nice.
Mhm. You need a motion, correct?
Correct.
Make a motion to accept resolution 26-07.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Resolution 26-08.
My computer, of course, just got funky on me.
No.
One minute. Adobe does not seem to like the large files. There we go. Resolution 26-08 is resolution accepting donations. The town of Byron in Waseca County wants to donate $200 to the Richland Ambulance Department.
Town of Byron?
Township.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah, that's what they're checking, town of Barron.
Mhm.
okay. Makes more sense.
It caught me off guard as well.
Town of Barron, give us money.
Yeah. Any town can give us money. Yeah.
I make a motion to approve resolution 26-08-08.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, ordinance 26-01.
An ordinance establishing standards, licensing, and inspection requirements for bunkhouse housing for migrant agricultural workers and allowing such housing as a conditional use in specified districts.
And we had the one change to it from last meeting, correct?
That was to change the burden on decision from 10 days to 30 days as per Jason Casey's request.
I'm gonna open up that ordinance for public comment at this time. It is 6:47. If anybody would like to speak regarding ordinance 26-01, please come to the podium, state your name and address.
Can we just get like just a general thing, what it might be about, but he's first.
Actually, that might be a good opportunity for Lily Nardos to describe
Okay.
what the process is, if they want to speak, touch the podium.
You just want to touch base about it then?
Yeah, so basically, a local ag company is hiring H2A workers that have to go through a vetted status through, the state and federal status as well. To employ these immigrant workers for 6 months out of the year. We are providing housing for those workers and have been very clear with the city as far as what the intent is with that. Making a building that has been kind of a thorn in the side, on that side of the community, and rehabbing that to account for those workers.
And where do the workers come from?
South Africa.
I mean,
Yeah.
that would be for this specific case, but
Yes.
it could open up
It
for
could, yes.
potentially anywhere, but the process is effectively the same where vetting and they'd have to go through Department of State and Department of Labor to qualify for the programs. So it's not just somebody jumps out of a plane and shows up one day.
And they have very strict guidelines that they have to follow being here. If there's any issues that, they violated their agreement, they do have, will get sent back to.
So is it, does it come like on a green card or a Visa or something like that?
So H2A
Like a-
visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this Matt Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, sitting right over there. I remember talking to you about it.
You want to
Is
add
there
anything,
anyone to
Matt?
add?
They nailed it on the head, I guess.
I've got a question that'll kind of do both of you. Because I've talked to you, remember, about where if somebody's wrong, they're gone because you got 100 other people jumping in their place.
Yeah.
If something happened with the area over here, yes, we've got certain guidelines that everybody's supposed to apply by. But if they do not, I can what if all night, but I'm not what if. I'm saying, if somebody does do something that is against the rules, what are you guys gonna do? Or is it his responsibility to do?
I think it would be a combined effort between that and.
And then how long would it take to get something like that done? Would it be weeks, months? days?
Yeah, what if-
Okay. Yep, see, that's what I'm saying, the what if.
Yeah, so I mean,
But say like there's 5 or 6 cars out back, or somebody's making noise or having a party or something that's fairly obnoxious to the community, but yet it's not totally illegal or anything like that. Would that be taken care of in a night and nothing's happened anymore, or would it be weeks?
Drew,
Because
what
they
would
have to come to
something
the
that you
council.
got a phone call on that, how would that be handled?
So as much as I would love to cover every violation, typical ordinance violations, you typically get one warning. You don't calm it down after that, then we take like the administrative citation actions associated with it. For properties like that, we notify, whoever runs it.
But is that one morning that night and then they're if they do it again
Yeah,
that
so
night,
it's
they're gone?
not like you get one warning on Monday, you act up on Friday. and
That's
then,
okay.
It's very circumstantial based on the event. Now, if it's like a physical altercation for a large party, that's a whole different matter than just music too loud. So they might not be as familiar with the city ordinances, so that's why I like to have wonderful educational, conversations about certain practices and safe actions.
I think I'm hearing that it's not gonna be immediate.
Well, I can't remove them from their property, if that's what you're kind of getting.
Can they remove them from the property?
No, that would break the law.
That would
Legally,
go
it shouldn't be any
between.
different than any other citizen in town. I'm not gonna treat them any different than anyone's.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if
I think
something
that
happens.
would be.
But yeah, but you get hold into a different standard than everybody else in town.
Right.
I mean, that's
Okay.
ridiculous.
I'm saying that, yeah, I understand that.
And the parking
But
there,
it can't go on for months like it did here, the last people that were in there.
Well,
That's a totally
that's
different
a totally
situation.
different.
Okay.
We're
So if
discussing.
you're talking tenant rights and you're talking, that's a
Okay.
whole nother ball of wax. So
All right.
And as far as the cars, I can promise you, you don't have to worry about that, because they're gonna be parking at the elevator, and there's 2 or 3 shifts on rotation.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So the vehicle won't be a problem, but that's the nice part about it. We do have a couple of vehicles that we park at the elevator, but, yeah, there might be one there or something like that. It's not like there's gonna be 10 vehicles parked there. And the other thing is, I'm supplying them, I don't have that many, so.
All right, thank you.
And we're open to like, if there is something, obviously they might be unloading groceries or they're doing something, and obviously the alley back there is the only way to get in that front. You can park in front of us, and you can also get into the front of the building from there too. So there might be an instance where they're unloading something or, but it's not gonna be hours worth of clogging up at either the alley or in the road there. Just wouldn't be any different when it was the laundromat.
Actually, it would be less.
Yes.
I've got to ask Drew something. If something happened, would you go to them first or then to him, or
No.
him first then to them?
No, we would address the situation on hand on site. So, it's just working communication with them due to the fact that they're under strict guidelines as far as those individuals being there. But everybody gets the same fair chance, whether they're here on a visa or an American citizen.
And some of it could be handed off to him to take care of as far as it's his business doing
Well,
stuff.
it all depends on what's.
Yeah, correct. That's
Yeah, so, if they're dealing narcotics out of there, that's a whole different matter compared to
Right.
a noise complaint. If say we had 2-3 complaints for noise, we would discuss with them about appropriate action and having them, work with us to mitigate future occurrences.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
If I may, following up on that concern, if concerns aren't addressed, there is language in the ordinance that allows for the revocation or the suspension of the license. So keep that in mind as well. Problems arise with noise and it isn't effectively handled, you know, the council can take a look at revoking a license or suspending a license or imposing your own penalty for it.
How quick is the implementation of that?
Well, it could take some time. I mean, especially if the property owner disputes the allegation, you know, it could be a matter of months.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, for a noise violation, in theory, it could be 2, 3, 4 months to work its way through. Certainly, the more issues that you have, the quicker the process would be, but I mean, you know, a month or 2 max, or minimum, sorry. But there is a provision in there that would call for it to be revoked or suspended.
I'll flip on the screen right now.
That's all the questions I had on.
One question that I
It's
did
pretty
have,
straightforward.
one question that I had, it did have, and I just thought of it actually, is has our building inspector reviewed this? And is our building inspector up to date on some of these federal requirements? He's the one that is going to be inspecting this facility. I mean, have we ran the ordinance by the inspector to see if the inspector is okay with this ordinance?
He is not. I do not believe him.
Okay.
We've had the state inspector down here already once.
Okay.
And he has walked through the property and
Sure.
he was actually pretty impressed on the living conditions that they are going to have.
Well, if he wasn't, you would know about it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And he had a list, and basically our rental licensing that we would do for a single family home
Sure.
actually is more strict than the H2A licensing guidelines that they
Correct.
have. So
Correct.
when he walked through it, he was very happy with the layout.
Good.
And we do have a checklist of everything.
Good.
We have, I believe, 30 days somewhere in there where that'll be getting re-inspected too.
Sure.
From them in.
And our inspector would very likely use that information anyway. So
Yes.
if you've had it inspected by somebody from the state, our inspector,
Yep.
you know, there would be the sharing of that information. And
Yep.
perhaps our inspector wouldn't even need to know.
Yeah.
But, oh, that's good. Good
Yep.
to know.
I did get to go,
And we've been in communication with him and with the lady's name? Mary is her name, she works in the inspection in the state part.
Sure.
And we've had conversations with her too, back and forth. So everything is documented and emails back and forth between us and them. And I think Matt's on it too. So, yep. So we're all on the same page.
I had an opportunity to go visit it as well.
Yeah.
It's
I did too.
very impressive what
I did not
it
realize,
used to look like.
I did not
compared to
realize
now.
how big it was.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be just cramming a bunch of people in a small area. It is very wide open in different areas, so it's not just putting people in a room. There's
No.
lots of spaces and open areas for them to be outside of their rooms and everything, so they're doing it the right way by checking all the rules that they need to do, I feel, but. All right. All right. Would anybody like to speak?
I guess all I was gonna say is at the end of the day, you know, I'm employed for work. So if they're screwing around or causing problems, obviously, you know, personally, I'm gonna try and take care of that right away. But if it does, you know, involve law enforcement, we're gonna deal with it like we would any other situation. So if that's a concern, obviously I take my word for it. But if they're a problem, obviously they're probably a problem for me too. And they're here for one reason. So, you know, we'll hopefully deal with any problems they have.
I agree too.
All right.
One of the unresolved parts of this is the setting the fee for the permit to do this. It's my recommendation that the city set the fee of $250, but that is at the discretion of the council.
Is that yearly or is that
It'll be yearly.
yearly?
Yep, yearly.
Does that fall in line with other?
We're kind of the pioneers of
We're
this, so
pioneers,
there's not really much in line with.
I think looking at
Looking at the rest of our fee schedule, this fits into it as well.
very much so.
What is your standard rental license?
$75.
And then if it's
It's
more,
every 3 years though, isn't it?
correct.
So $250 every year.
And then it goes down per unit. So if it's a multi-unit.
So we'll leave that open then for the public comment then? Or do
If
we,
there is any.
does anybody else have any more public comment? All right. Do we wanna leave it up?
Call it again.
Any, last time, just if anybody wants to speak, otherwise after this, we won't be able to discuss it anymore. All right, then we'll close it at 7. And then you would like a motion for the fee schedule, Ben,
Yes, that'd be.
and everything too? Okay.
I'll make a motion that the fee is $250 annually for this bunkhouse application.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Need a motion.
Motion for the ordinance too?
I'll make a motion for the ordinance.
Second.
As written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, department reports then.
1 second,
Oh.
catching up to you guys.
Okay.
I'll set the world on fire for a moment there. All right. Got department reports. Ambulance department is up first. And actually, before you start, if anybody is not here for continued business, you may be dismissed at this time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Aye.
Yeah.
First off,
Hi, Sarah.
thanks to Byron Township for the donation to the ambulance. Appreciate that. I don't have anything. I do have to say it was a busy weekend. We had 5 calls all this weekend, Friday night until Sunday. So it was pretty busy for us, which is kind of nice. Brianna started already and she's had 4 calls already, so that's good. So there's crew that come from out of town and they do laundry. I don't know if you had a chance, Heather, to look at any of the washers, the one like washer and dryer set that they had. You had gotten for,
Dana also, we looked at other ones and we
Okay.
cheaper ones.
yeah, anything that's cheaper. I know at Costco, I do have a membership there. They are cheaper there. Also, but I'd like to get a washer and dryer set for back there for the linens, and not only that, those that come from out of town, especially the ones that come from out of town. One of them works at the sheriff's office in Hennepin County, and then she'll come here and work when she's off, and then so she can do laundry. Well, right now they're coming to my house and doing laundry, and I feel like I have to provide them stuff, and I think it would be better to have one there, and not only that, for the city, they'll be able to use it, and law enforcement, if they ever need anything to use the towels that we have in the kitchen and everything. I think it'd be a good all around to use. The washer, Tyler had asked about the washer that's back there, that is for turnout gear. I don't want to use that for cleaning the linens that are supposed to be in the ambulance and stuff like that. I don't want to have to, I think we could get one that would be good for having back there. Again, that was one that I saw at Lowe's, but there's other ones that are cheaper. I don't know, I can kind of coordinate with Heather and we can look and see what, there'd be one if I could get approval to get one of them.
Are there hookups in place already?
Pardon me?
Are the hookups in place?
There's a hookup back there for the a washer area because there's the washer for the firemen. So I don't know how we'd have to hook up something more. I'm not sure, but there is available faucets back there.
How about for the electrical though?
220 right
I don't know. I'd have to look at the electrical.
Is a dryer 220?
Most
All
of them.
right,
Most of them.
yeah, most of it.
If you wanted to
Unless
look
it's
at
gas. A gas one might be 110, but then you have to run a gas line, so you're not.
That's right.
We already had to air out the city hall once this month.
Yeah, do that.
You know, I'd also recommend looking at
Pardon?
a warranty on the thing too, if it's gonna be used
Yeah.
as much for fire.
What did you find, Jenna?
So I had this looked, I had found one for like 1,300. So it was a little bit less than what you had found on there. That was a real quick search that I did. I didn't go deep into it yet, but
I think the one I saw at Costco was like just right around 1,000, but it would be under 1,500. or a washer dryer set, stackable one that we can get in there.
The question I have right now is, where is all the linen being washed for the ambulance bay
Well,
right now?
when I get a chance to take it to the care center,
Okay,
but you have to be here during the day.
Okay.
Yeah. And pick it up well, they can drop it off during the day, but
If, in those cases, you can let us know that there's a bag and
yeah.
make sure to bring it over.
So, yeah, but we can get it done here, it'd be a lot easier and stuff like that.
I think we need to do some checking on the electrical side of it, because we might have some additional costs yet first before that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fine.
I agree.
Do you
Just
know-
Make sure it works.
You guys got a certain person we use for the city, right?
I can even have Caleb just pop in
Yeah.
and take a look just to let us know right away and then go from there too.
Or
And
Yeah.
maybe we can table it to the next meeting and then discuss
Yeah,
that.
that's fine, that's fine.
All right.
Do find out that information first, because I feel like we need to have
And I can look
everything.
at some more prices and see what I can find. I'll shop around and see where there is everything. The CPR instructor, I found out that we paid for that last year, so we have a credit and our certification was this year, so we don't have to worry about that, but
Perfect.
Yeah.
We like that.
yeah. I asked Sarah and she's like, we already paid for it. I'm like, oh, cool, thank you. Cot, I'm still waiting on the actual cot. We have the power load system back there. There were some updates that they did on it. I wish it would come soon. We are having issues with our cot that we have right now, but I know how to work around it.
How long have you been waiting for the cot?
Wow.
Wow, last
Wow.
year, right?
Quite a while.
Yeah.
ordered it.
Have we paid for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then why do we
She's-
have it?
Huh? Well, I'm in contact with her on a daily basis.
I was gonna say,
And I'm gonna let her know that I know council is really getting,
What is their reasoning on what's delaying it?
they had some issues, some malfunctions with this, so they had to fix that at one point. And then now was an update and it's sitting in the factory, but they're doing the update. And the last I heard when I talked to her last week, and she said she was gonna let me know today. So I'm gonna call her again tomorrow and be like, I need a set date. Or something. Because I've had the loading system, probably a month now?
Yeah, well, end of
somebody
February.
can send it all.
So it's brand new, but they're having problems with it? They don't have another one that they can
No,
send?
they had problems.
Okay.
Now it's just updates that
Okay.
they're doing on it, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Before it was, we would get the cot way before we got our monitor. Well, we've had our monitor way before we got our cot, so. Hopefully that comes soon.
All right.
I can even email her with Tyler attached or something and start getting, so that way you have communication with it on it also.
I can write spicy emails too.
Huh?
I can write spicy emails too.
That's right. I don't, she's on there, I mean, I can be that way, but I want to get her caught. I want her caught, so, because this one, you hit the latch to unhook it and the one side gets caught, so I gotta go over there and then kind of pull the cot. And it's hard to do that with the patient on there, especially, and it's,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not on every call, so, well, I'm on 90% of them, but, yeah. So.
Okay.
Waiting on that. Hopefully I'll have another update and I'll send an email out tonight with Tyler attached. So. Other than that, I don't think, is there anything more on there that I have down there, the director? Nothing? Yeah? Nope. Any questions?
We haven't asked or talked about it recently, but the new billing has been going,
Pardon?
the new billing hasn't been no issues there. Everything's been going
No.
smooth with that new company since we.
I've heard money's starting to come in.
I think everything's looking great, and just when I did March's check register, I tallied it up and through that iStream company too, all the old funds from the prior company, there was probably 1,700 that came in just on that in
Oh,
March.
Good.
And then I think February's there was close to 3,000 that came in.
So we're starting.
So we're
to get
getting
an
our
increase.
old stuff coming in slowly, but it's every month it's coming.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah.
Very good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah, are you gonna be around later? If not, here, take this.
What's
This
this?
has nothing to do with council and stuff. I just want you to see it, read it, talk with the chief of police also. And if you got questions, give me a call. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Okay,
ambulance.
thank you.
Just read.
I'll second that.
Oh,
Yeah, we had the table.
table the, I'll make a motion to table the laundry machines.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the motion?
I'll make a motion for the, accept the ambulance director's report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Fire department,
The fire department report was in writing this month. Their reports are pretty Spartan. There was 3 fire calls, 2 medical calls, and this one's training was an LP burn. So, very simple, straightforward.
Make a motion,
They're not asking for anything this month.
no. I'll make a motion to accept the fire department report.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Police department,
We had 97 calls for service for the month of April, putting our totals for the year at 400. I renewed Officer Gerard's license renewal, so you can keep working, you're welcome. Purchases, annual renewals, iCrime Fighter Access, that's where we upload all of our squad video, our photographs that we take, pretty much all of our stuff except for reports go into there. Renewed our maintenance fee for CIS MCS, which is our mobile unit or our mobile software that we use, that dispatch uses, so we can look up licenses and look at addresses and all that stuff. 270 blew a belt, so that was loud. And we did an oil change, air filter change. We did all that at the same time. And then on May 29th, we will have our end of the year water balloon fight. Those supplies were purchased using a grant money that we got from the Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association. So.
Have the body cams been working as they should?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, and we got all of the, I haven't heard complaints from fire or ambulance, and all the encryption, the radios for all of that has been implemented. The old radios have been phased out, and everything's working smoothly there too.
Excellent.
perfect.
So,
I got a question. I think, and this is kind of relating to him too, I think you had later in your report that you went to that conference and talked about meeting up with other police chiefs and
Well, it was
stuff
the
like
city
that.
administrator that was also a chief of police.
Now, my question, have you talked to her about looking at, you were talking about maintenance on the 270?
Mhm.
What's the time frame we need to replace, and maybe talk to him about getting somebody else's?
it's coming down to it. What do we have, 100 and?
131,652 months.
Yep, and it seems like every month we're having an issue. I don't think the engine light ever shuts off. I think it's just a permanent function now.
That means
So.
it's still in there then.
Huh? That's a great question. Should just cover it up.
Yeah.
with a piece of-
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it's not flashing, that's fine.
Well, sure. It's runnable
So
right now.
you're looking into talking to him
Yeah,
about getting
we've
replaced?
chatted about it. There's been a lot of
It's been busy.
excessive investigations we've been having to go
Oh,
through in the last couple months, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but replacement is gonna be needed pretty soon,
Cool. Thank you.
so. Anything else?
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the police department report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Care center,
Yeah.
Bob,
Hi, Bob.
Howdy. How we doing?
good.
Well, it's good to hear. All right, Care Center report. Let's see, where are we at here? Average census, we'll start there for the month of April. Month of April, our average was 35.6 per day. trending down in the last couple of months, which is somewhat normal. And typically in July, we pick back up. July through September, we're up, and then you're probably down again later in the year. We hope to later in the year land at 38 or 39, but we'll see how things go. Today we are currently at 36. We've got, I think, 2 for tomorrow and maybe 1 stretched out to next week, but we've also got people going home. They do such a good job, they get people back in their feet and they send them home. Blame my therapy company. As you see, you look at the managed care numbers there, they've been pretty consistent across the board. Drop down to Medicare A, and they are a little bit higher in April. So I like this, looking at managed care and Medicare A, I like to see those numbers around 8. That's good money coming in, as that's a lot of rehab therapy or medical therapy, period, that the federal government, Medicare pays a lot better than just Medicaid. Medicaid numbers are high in February. However, those numbers at 20, almost 25, we had 8 people on hospice care, and then we're all Medicare, or Medicaid rather, and that's extremely high. We've only got 2 hospice rooms, so we had to stretch things out, and it worked out, and I think everything went well. But right now we've got 4 currently on a census of 36. And then you look at our private pays, well, just nowhere near what we should have. We should have a dozen, but the way everybody saved money back in the day, well, Medicaid is it. Medicaid is our higher numbers. A lot of people on public assistance. So not a dig on anybody, because I'm going to be there too. So.
It's also important to realize that New Richland has a below average median household income.
Oh,
It has
true.
for quite a while.
True.
So this is likely to be a continuing trend.
Right.
Right? Is that
That's
fair?
very true. Yep. And we do have, I would say 50% of our people do not come from New Richland or one of our small surrounding towns. We had a lady just went, or actually she'll go home tomorrow, and she is over by the city of Byron.
Oh.
Maybe it was them that sent you the money. Just kidding. But we've had a lot of people. We've had people from as far away as Worthington, a lot of people from the Rochester area, Kenyon. Just kind of bizarre how they get to one little town in the middle of the cornfields. So, but it's kind of interesting. You get to meet a lot of nifty people. But something else about that, just a brief explanation. Every person in the care center has a care level, which their care level equates to a certain amount of how much they pay to live there or to stay there. Obviously, the people on managed care and Medicare A, their care level is higher on the scale, therefore we get more money for them. We do have a few, what they call PA1s. We're not supposed to have PA1s. PA1s are people that probably should live in assisted living or a group home or maybe even independent. I've got 4 of them. They're doing very well. They're integrated into the community. 3 of them are younger, so they really don't have a place to go right now. So that detracts from the amount of money that we can actually make per month. So
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you actively, when you said the numbers on the private aren't as well as you'd like to, do you actively recruit for people to come here? Like, go out and try and find somebody?
No, those days are kind of over. Not many people are willing to just call up and say, I'd like to do a tour of your building. Dad needs to live there because I can't take care of him anymore.
Everybody's busy.
Right, everybody's busy. So most of the people come to our building, everybody comes to our building either through hospice or through a stay at the hospital, in which case you get those Medicare people.
Thanks.
Yep. Revenue, we took another downturn in March. April should look up a little bit, but March was a downturn. Some of the people that we hired they didn't pan out. We had to revert back to some agency staff. Some of our residents were lower care people, so we didn't get the higher reimbursement rates. They might have been $8,000 instead of $15,000. That takes a toll. So as you read there, we did require fewer agency hours to meet helping us meet our goals. The resident mix, which we just talked about, higher levels of care, lower levels of care. Everybody that fluctuates in our census comes from a high level of care, drops, and they go home. This week, we are celebrating National Nursing Home Week. Hoorah. Today, what was today? I don't remember. Oh, today was dressed like your favorite team day. Obviously, mine is Team Bob. I forgot. Got too fat, I can't fit enough anymore. Music and games, food and fun, all this jazz. We're having a ball this week. So come on down, spend some time at the nursing home, talk to the residents, thank the staff for what they do. They had a great survey. Thank you, Eli, got us in the paper, that was great.
That's a good article. Appreciate it. Put mine in.
Yeah, it's fun writing that article. A lot of fun. And then we're working on emergency preparedness for police and the ambulance crew. Well, she already left, and fire department in Shaw. We're gonna be working with them this summer to create a better plan. So we want everybody to be aware of where things are at in our building. That's all I got.
How's the audit coming?
Good.
Is it done?
Yep. I don't have it yet, but it's done.
Well, at least it's.
I was gonna ask about that.
I figured you were. I was gonna-
Yeah.
That's my monthly question.
And part of the problem that we had with the audit was agency numbers and para insurance or para investment. Things weren't jiving.
Sure.
Lindsay had a lot of back work to do to catch up.
One other thing I have is
Huh?
any checks that I need to sign. So I did see you didn't bring any in.
I wish.
Okay.
Lindsay does have a pile of them, but that's between Lindsay and you guys.
Yeah, I didn't have any ready for
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You said you're doing the emergency preparedness plan, right?
Yeah.
Have you been here long enough to know this, when we went through any of the floods?
The floods?
Floods. Were you here when that happened?
I was not here for a flood where we evacuated.
Okay, now, have you taken, or are you gonna take a look at future plans based upon what they think should be done from past floods? And try and make it better?
Yes.
You got a plan, you got a plan how though, or not?
Not yet.
Okay.
One of my plans is to educate people on how to sandbag.
Okay.
Because I was here when we sandbagged once, and it was done very poorly.
I have a contact with a company that sells the reusable plastic flood barriers that like use the weight of the water to hold it back.
Yep.
They're wanting to come out and do a demonstration and a talk.
That'd be great.
One of the things that we did, just for a preliminary idea, was barricading around the care center. They didn't give me a number, so that could be it might be worth just letting it wash away, if depending on what the price is.
No. All the money I put into that building last couple of years, no.
And of course, too. But they're gonna come up and talk to us at some point.
That'd be wonderful.
Have you in that conversation too.
Yep, absolutely. And then we can, the grant guy with Dave.
Dave, yep.
We could get him involved. He'd probably give us money for that.
Yeah.
Oh, thinking of grant, we've applied for a Waseca County grant to have an intern come in and they do, Waseca County pays for it. And we're gonna look at marketing and resource development so that we can create a better resource development plan.
Very good.
And it's free, up to 29 hours a week.
Perfect.
Wow. Very good.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Oh, because I did that stuff.
Nice. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Make a motion to accept the care center report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
People service, John?
Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hi.
Okay. For the month of April, we had 5.5 million gallons of wastewater and water that came through. The well only pumped 2.1 million, 2.187.
You got like
So-
3 million.
We've got a lot of extra I&I. So, yeah,
It wasn't even raining.
it was only like an inch and a half, yeah. In the one day that on the 13th, when we did have that rain, 300,000 gallons of water came. So it's really hard to treat rain water that's clear. I need dirty water. I need wastewater, not clean water. So the plant has a very hard time trying to treat clean water. It's very difficult.
Why are we treating the stormwater?
Well, it just comes into the sewer pipes on its own.
Because they're pressed.
I thought isn't there separate sanitary
They-
sewer and
yeah.
storm sewer?
Yeah,
Well, can't we dump the storm sewer into the creek?
It is, but
it is, but back in the day, they were adjoined. So people's houses, their sump pumps go to the sewer, which is illegal.
I understand.
And like the school building, I'm trying to get all of that redone, all of the water off the roofs and from around it was coming to me. So if you take that size building times rainfall, it's a lot of water. It's going down though. I mean, since we've gotten the streets, getting those fixed, I bought 150 manhole plugs. So I've been going around town plugging every single sewer manhole that has a hole in it, because that's water. So that, I'm on that, so that should help. I know it is a lot, but anything will help.
see you with a rubber mallet.
So, anytime that you see any extra water coming in anywhere, that's not supposed to be, like, say it's a big rain and there's some pumps aren't going to the street, where are they going? That's usually my first clue, so.
Just the state of our sewer system.
Yes,
There's-
a lot of cracks.
Any crack just
Yes.
leaks like a sieve.
Holes, cracks, you name it. Yeah, there's a lot of issues. But deal with it day by day. That's about all I can do. All the reports were finished for the month on time. Work orders were on time. I do monthly cybersecurity that I have to do. That is done every single month. I got the new regulator and filter for the diaphragm pump, still not running right. I did the manhole covers. Chlorine and sulfur dioxide is on now for summer. Started on the 1st and I run it until November 1st. Wondering still about the alarm system, like what's at the well house. This will go to my alarm system. I have the Sensiphone alarms too, so it would hook right up to it and it would call me. Because I did have a few issues with the new chlorine, not new chlorine heads, but I took them off to get them refurbished. But there was a small chlorine leak out there. Now, if I wasn't there, that's 150 pounds of chlorine out the door into the field, to the community. If that was to happen, that is the worst process you don't ever want to go through in your whole entire life. So if these go to our Sense phones, Eric will too when they get that figured out down there. But we will get a call instantly if there is a chlorine or a sulfur dioxide leak. So it's a brilliant idea to have it like that, because that alarm can go off and I bet nobody could hear it. I only can when I pull in, and you can't walk down there. If you walk down, you're probably going to
Can't come back out.
And I wouldn't want anyone else to go down there either. So, but yeah, that alarm, I would really like the two, one for the chlorine room, one for the SO2 room.
What is the cost for them, yeah?
I don't know, those guys got,
We can consult with, Eric got.
did you get them from Eric Mickelson?
He got them from whoever the pool. company-
Schmansky?
Yeah, he got them
Yeah.
from there.
That's where I order my stuff from.
You said that there was one that he didn't, or one that you needed that he didn't get.
That was a chlorine head.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a head to a chlorine tank. But yeah, if we could get those, I don't know what you guys, I asked about it last month, but
Yeah.
I'd like to just, well, like I said, it's only on May to November 1st, but tanks do sit in there into December and January. They do sit in there, so it's kind of something that would have to be on, it goes right to my alarm system. So it's kind of a way better deal. Casson just had a bad leak 3 months ago. They had to evacuate homes, fans in the basements. I mean, it's not something you want to do. So it's very dangerous.
I think our insurance company would like for us to have some type of a warning like that too.
Yeah.
I would feel.
Yeah. It's the safety of the person
Community.
there. Anybody that was to show up and not know, like say someone's just looking for me. Yeah, you don't want to be in.
That's what a lot of people are killed in World War I, chlorine gas.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea what?
Can we get,
Eric say?
I'm going back to look to see what.
or at least can we get it on the next meeting with the prices so we can approve that? Because I think, and find out, make sure we have the budget money.
Well,
for it.
and I can text Eric Mickelson. That's from Alden Pool
Yeah.
and just get the
Yeah, if we can
price.
get something for the next meeting and what the
Yeah, 'cause
cost
the
is.
longer we wait, the longer, I mean, this has been a few times now, I've been after it,
Yeah.
and no one's gotten on it, so. So yeah, I it worries me, when I walk down there and I have to turn that tank and I have to change a tank, I wear my mask. You don't want to get shot by that right in the face. I mean, it only takes a second.
Yeah.
So, and if it was to continually leak and I can't get out of there, it's just gonna sit there and leak.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
All right. We'll have that put on the next meeting then. So we can get that.
yeah, or
resolved.
sooner would be
Or-
nice, because you'd still have to get them put in and get them set into the sense of them.
I seem to recall the price was somewhere on the order of like $4,000 to $5,000, but I guess I could be mistaken. But it was relatively negligible. I know that the money is in the fund.
There's an alarm, but it's only audible, so nobody can
Can you
hear.
just confirm that and then maybe reach out to us and we can do it?
Or
you approve it tonight.
All right.
Not
Oh,
exceed-
there it is.
not exceed
Alden Pool
8 grand.
GLD 30 battery chlorine gas alarm, $1,600, and Scaltron 1,000 to 220.
I don't need the scale.
Okay.
You need
So-
two of them?
I just need 2 alarms. This one right here.
$3,200.
This is what Eric's got.
That's the GLD.
GLD.
That way, if we stay with the same system, and we both have sensophones, to keep the water and the wastewater parts the same. And that's what I'm trying to shoot for here before I retire.
I mean, if they're
To
1,600.
everybody to have the same
That's
parts.
That's a no-brainer.
Makes sense.
I mean,
Yes.
Approve up to 3,500.
Well, taxes and stuff, I would just do maybe
Maybe do
45.
5 or 6.
Yeah, just do
Not
5,
to exceed.
not to exceed. Yeah.
You gotta find your own replacement.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the chlorine sulfur dioxide alarms.
And Ori
Up to
can hook it
$5,000.
to my sensophone. Yeah. It's right in my office, which goes to my phone and my home phone and to 6 other workers. So,
All right, yeah, I will make a motion to approve the chlorine sulfur dioxide alarms up to 5,000.
thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Is that better?
Yep.
For all of us.
Yes.
It's scary. The only thing that, the other thing is the metal detector, and I've asked about it.
Yes, it's on.
Yes, this is, I don't need no fancy dancy thing. I need this to find, like, looking for the manhole over in the wooded area on 7th and Birch. That was fun. Finally found it. A metal detector would have made my life a lot faster, but there are some manholes in the fields out there on the dead end that have never been found. So they're 10 rows out.
Sure, I believe.
Wow.
So it would
10 rows
stay
out.
in the city of New Richland. It would not leave New Richland. It would stay here. So. But I can't keep poking around in the dirt until I find metal. I can't.
Plus maintenance could use the machine, right?
They just got one with the rehab of all the streets. Yeah, theirs is a fancy one, but I don't need the fancy. I'm not looking for water and hydrants and lines. Mine's just a metal locator, and this is the cheapest one I found.
What's the cost?
Mine right now is a box.
1419.
I have a box called the Aqua Locator. You hold it out like this with a magnetic thread on it. And I can't do it anymore. I need the bifocals. I can't do it. Can't do it. So. And this is the same person that Eric and Braden got theirs from. Their new locator deal that they got.
How often do they use theirs and could it just?
Just use borrow there.
Well, I asked for their old ones. Or
They have
at least
old ones.
a old one, but I don't think that one worked.
Oh.
So
I mean, how often are using?
that thing's a massive thing. Like that's to find water lines and hydrants or whatever, but.
They use
you
that
know,
to
lines.
locate, don't they?
They use that to locate. This is just a metal detector. But we did have a green one, but I don't think it was in the best working
They're using it to
conditions,
locate
but-
water lines.
But yeah. The new streets and any new streets that we will have, there will be there's a sewer cap. So if you took this metal detector, you swipe through and you'll ding right on where the sewer is. Now, the old sewers, I go from the 1939 map and I have to measure it by hand. So that every new one that you get will now have this new deal that they put on. Curb stops are easy. I mean, yeah, ding, 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 they're all over. Sewers, you can't find them. Manholes underwater, very hard to find. This detector can find that. Or sewer grates or storm grates. You can find anything, you know. It's an easy way to find your grates and pull them and, yeah.
All right.
$14.19.
I move to approve the purchase of the metal detector. What's it, 1419? Is that with tax and shipping and all that stuff? Do you need like up to an amount?
I think this is the exact amount is what he sent me. The utility logic.
1,400. I don't have that quote. I just have.
Oh, sure, here.
We just had the 1419.
I'm looking at
Says-
1419, right?
12, 75 and 45. So it'd be 12, yeah, what did 12? That was what I got on an email.
1210, is it? 1220?
Yeah, 20.
Right, yeah, there's no tax on it. Oh, because we're tax exempt,
All right.
right?
Still 1,500.
You could just do 15 in case there's any hidden stuff.
Up to 1,500, I guess.
I'll second that.
Motion.
And it will stay here in New Richland.
All
We'll
right.
put your city sticker right on it.
Matt, you
Jody
said-
motion, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Is that all you got?
That is it.
I got a question for you.
Sure, what do you got?
Being that you're an inquisitive person and a fixer, just like I am, I would like you to Google sustainable aviation fuel or diesel fuel out of sewage.
Oh, good
And see,
Lord.
because there are some cities that are doing it. And I'm pretty sure it's bigger cities and we probably couldn't do it economically. but I'd
We
just
don't
like to
even
see
have
it.
enough to make nothing. We don't have enough. I don't know how you would, what you would skim off.
Google it or Copilot. Go try it. I'll
When
have
I
you
get
bring that
home,
back
I
next
will.
meeting.
It won't be at the top of my list.
No, I know.
She was a content.
Truthfully, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's not at the top.
Just wanted to pique your curiosity.
I don't think it would work. Anything else, guys?
No, thank you.
Very much, I do appreciate it.
Move to approve people service report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, maintenance and utility report.
Eric could not be with us today. Thanks to baseball, we got 5 more months to present, so. 0 blue cards were issued to residents this month, 0 shut-offs. 0 weekly maintenance of Legion Field, City Park, City Hall, all went on as normal. They flushed hydrants, burned the dump. JNR exercised the valves, sand was put down at the beach. Just a lot of general, storm sewer was blocked on Broadway and Second by a case of empty beverages, causing the flooded street. That was the night of the last meeting.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear back from Karen Fence about the newer fencing at the baseball field and softball field. It's already in kind of rough shape from frost heave. Ropes and rafter out at the lake. And they planted a bunch of shrubs to help eliminate erosion on South Elm. And let's see here. Oh, there we go. Their well pumping has shell touched on 2,100,000 or so gallons of water pumped. All the numbers came back good. Come on. And that's our annual usage. There was no requests for the month.
Just to add to that, 2 things. Blue cards were at 0 and the shutoffs because now they are required to send our water bills back up to the cities to be dispersed out instead of directly from here. So I did not go off of the due date. And so it's not fair to do blue cards either if I wasn't honoring the due date as well. So there might be some changes with that coming up and I might be pushing the due date automatically back at least a week's worth from what it normally is, because if the post office is not showing the numbers, we could potentially lose our post office and I'm not gonna be responsible for that, so. There'll be some changes, but that is why we did not do that. And citywide cleanup September 19th.
September 19th?
Yes. And that will go out in the newsletter with this month's newsletter, so.
The project at the water treatment plant, with getting everything done, have we resolved that for them to get work done?
He was there. There is progress. Eric is happy with the state of the progress.
Okay.
It's not completed, but he's happy with the fact that there's progress.
Okay.
For the cleanup day, I have heard a little bit of feedback on that. People liked it around the time of the citywide garage sales and stuff like that. It just made sense. It was after that. I understand if it didn't work, but.
And also in September,
In the
the
future.
fall citywide garage sales will be 2 weeks, not the weekend before, but 2 weeks, so the first weekend in September. And then cleanup, it did not work for staff, it didn't work for Thompson.
Nope. And
It worked out well that it didn't work because Eric's been by himself, so if we would have actually just done it this last weekend, he would have been the only one. So it worked how it was supposed to this year. We will hopefully, yeah, it didn't work for anyone all around to do it in May this year. So I figured I'll do it in September after the other set of garage sales, because I do know people like to do it with garage sales and cleanup.
Mhm.
And we have more probably bad weather coming. So, yeah, we did what we could. So, but no, I do know that too, because I heard a lot as well, so.
Make a motion to accept the maintenance and utility report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Economic development?
I included that, I have it here in writing from the EDA meeting. It didn't get included in the packet. If you want to take a look at what the EDA did this last month. But there's no action required because they're not a department.
Yeah.
That's to approve. So we're into unfinished business. February 2026 check register is completed. That's up for viewing.
I had one question, no, I can't find it. It was Bolton and Mank, $15,000 for mailing, project mailing and posting, or $5,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was for one of the notices that they had sent out in January to everyone in the city. I can't tell, I don't remember what one that was, but some, like they put together pamphlets, packets and stuff or something like that. And so it was their fees for doing all their stuff and mailing it out.
When are they coming back to finish everything?
I think after school is done, now that the sidewalk project is, that was the last we heard, I guess. Once we got done, they wanted to come in right away now. Instead of July.
The Sawyer, what was his, yeah, next week they're gonna be looking at something on the boulevards or something too.
Yep, they're surveying a lot, looking for cracks and everything else too. But that was the last that we heard.
As soon as school's out, they will be starting again.
You might have to come down to the nursing home. They always. Save them $1 million.
Anything? Anybody else have anything?
Oh, no.
Not on that, no.
Make a motion to approve the February check register.
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The March check register was completed today. We did not get included in the packet, but it is complete. So we'll have that with next month, and Heather's doing a great job of catching us up on that. So we'll be, I think, after next month, we'll be right back on track with that.
Benny's playing well these days.
Reasonably. Reasonably. There's.
What's the, makes sense.
So I suppose that's right, maybe not reasonably, but we're trending better.
It's getting a lot better. And now that I figured out what the ultimate problem is, it's easier.
All right. Then we'll move on to number 3, which is Radio Link. Jason?
Want me to tee this up?
That'd be great, because you've been.
All right, we're here again. This is the third meeting in a row that we've had on this. Did everyone get my memo with the council packet? Radio Link, you received it as well, right? May 6th memo?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Sorry,
you got it.
verbally, yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Good. All right, following the last council meeting, you guys wanted me to start negotiations with Radio Link. What I did is I drafted a proposed lease with very standard terms on it. I sent that out to Radio Link, sent it out to them on April 21. I didn't hear anything back. On May 1st, I followed up. May 6th, I did receive not comments regarding my proposed draft, but I received their draft. And as I mentioned in my memo to you, and I copied you on my a proposed lease, and I copied you on their draft that they sent on May 6th. And I have no idea why this needs to be so difficult. But at any rate, I didn't really get any comments on my proposed lease. I just got their lease. I cannot in good conscience recommend that you guys adopt this lease for all of the reasons that I indicated in my memo, which are 12 points, different points, contentions that I have with their lease. Their lease is woefully inadequate, in my opinion. It doesn't contain any provision regarding the workers' comp, which is standard and elementary in these types of leases. It doesn't contain any language with regard to you guys being liable in many situations, but the language holds us liable. I mean, it should be mutual liability. Doesn't contain any language for late payments, which is frankly elementary in a lease. The lease that you guys have proposed contains language in here about an easement. I don't know why we would ever agree to anything like that. We certainly shouldn't agree to anything like that. I think that the lease that I had proposed is very reasonable. The language comes from other agreements that I have worked on in 25 years. There is nothing onerous in my proposal. There is nothing out of line in my proposal. There is nothing excessive in my proposal. My proposal is a very standard, easy to understand lease that frankly protects the city in a lot of different issue areas where their lease is very, many terms, very vague, very ambiguous, and again, is devoid of essential principles. So I cannot in good conscience tell you to enter into this lease that they have proposed. I continue to stand by mine. The council is going to have to make a decision on this at some point in time. I articulated the options that I think you have on this, and that's to continue to negotiate, although I don't know if there's been much negotiation. I didn't get any comments on my version. What I got was this version. So your options are to continue to negotiate or simply not enter into a lease and start the decommissioning phase. The third option, you guys can certainly discuss it here tonight, maybe come up with a third option, but I think our options are fairly limited. That's essentially where we're at. And again, I've reviewed it, Ty has reviewed it. Neither one of us in good conscience can recommend that you enter into this lease that they have proposed. The one that I sent is very standard.
One of my concerns with it is I've never really seen a business come in and say, here's my contract, you have to go with my contract. We sent one. I don't understand why we even received that contract where we should have been going off of ours is what we should be. That's my opinion. I just feel like this is just a circle around constantly.
What I can't get past is it's your tower.
Yeah.
You own this tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
as the residents of New Richland own this tower.
There's the potential of a lot of liability for the city and the taxpayers of this town if something was to happen.
Where did this easement language come from?
So let me start with the contract that RadioLink Internet submitted. We submitted that so that, well, let me just get this. We submitted our agreement to try and avoid antagonizing or appearing to be antagonistic by reviewing the city contract. So if you look at the red on this, now this has been reviewed by a DC lawyer, local lawyer, and a 25-year contract attorney. All of the red is what was written. Now, the contract as written was a valid and good contract for building rental. There is nothing wrong with it for a building rental.
The issue comes in when you use that contract for communications and co-location. It's been upgraded to that, and there's about 3 paragraphs that the attorneys said they didn't have to change. So we were trying not to be antagonistic. That's why we submitted, and the contract we submitted is based on the state of Minnesota contract that's been used for, I was told, over 10 years. It was also based loosely on the League of Minnesota Cities contract template that you guys have access to from their attorneys. So the contract we submitted is based on communications, specializing attorneys. We were trying not to be antagonistic. That's why it took so long. If you look at the red on this, there's a lot. That took a whole, it's very expensive to have PC attorneys go through this. I try not to be antagonistic. Now, I can respond to your memo. I can respond to different parts of your contract. So the memo, I can respond to all the parts on your memo which relate to our contract. There's only one change we put in here, and it was like, okay, everything else is already covered in there. So I can respond to them. I was trying not to be antagonistic by just giving you a contract the state of Minnesota uses, just putting in your specifics.
But that didn't answer the question about the easement.
Okay, easement specifically. So let me get my notes. I don't want to read from these.
Or why it doesn't contain language about workers' comp.
Okay, we'll start with the easement. That was which one of your items? I've got all these written down, so I can jump around.
Well, your contract, section 1.
Your memo.
This
Your
includes
memo.
access and utility easements for the operation expected.
Which number?
Number 1, yours.
Number 1, okay. The easement.
This includes access and utility
Okay.
easements.
Ultimately, the easement is required because there's fiber in the tower. The Radio Link Internet owns fiber in the tower, and that needs to be taken into account. Easement is the legal language to take into account underground services in the public right of way going into the water tower.
So are we giving you an easement over the land, or?
That was done years ago. Radio Link has received a citywide easement years ago.
Oh, for the right of way, maybe.
I was told it was years ago.
I mean, it
Radio
just
Link-
seems very unusual that you would have in here the word easement. I don't think easement should be in there. I think easement is a legal term. An easement then conveys property rights and goes into a whole different area besides just general access rights. The workers' comp should also be in here. Why isn't there anything about penalties in the event of late payment? I mean,
Okay,
that's-
let's take one item at a time. So in your memo, I would like to get the exact wording, so I'm not reading it wrong, because this gets into legal things. So in your memo, the workman's comp was, I've been through this so many times, I apologize, I don't have them memorized.
May I interject? I think the time for this was this last month while we were supposed to be negotiating. Antagonistic or not, this is the stuff that we should have been hashing out.
Before
and
coming
not
here.
Doing it in council. Correct.
Mhm.
That was the idea.
That was the idea, 'cause
Negotiation
we're not
was
so-
happening behind the scenes, and you were voting on a contract, whether it
Yes.
was agreed to or not.
Okay.
Well, that didn't happen.
And I sent them my version, April 21.
So let me just point out, in your version, at the end of 5 years, the city must remove all of their equipment from the water tower.
No, you guys must remove it. The city isn't removing anything.
Section 2, in your contract, let me get the right one here. Is it item 2? Yes. Item 2, term. This lease shall automatically terminate on May 1st, 2031. Landlord shall fully and completely have its equipment decommissioned from the tower on May 1st.
In the event that you don't.
Is that in?
Yeah, if you don't remove your equipment, we can go in there and remove it and charge it back.
This lease shall automatically terminate on May 1st. Landlord shall fully and completely have its equipment decommissioned from the tower by May 1st.
Where are you at?
Your contract.
I'm looking at
two,
section 12.
Term. Your contract, number 2, term. There's a lot of things that appear to are going to be antagonistic.
Yeah, that's a typo. That should be tenant.
But that's stuff that we would have cut in negotiation.
Correct.
Not here having theater.
Okay. If I give you if I give you feedback from attorneys that every paragraph is in question and has issues, I was told that's not gonna go. You're gonna have issues with that. You're taking a building rental contract and trying to make it a communications contract, which is rewriting every paragraph.
Again, this was the time to do it, not this time to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I can't recommend that they approve your draft.
Okay. Every item you put in your memo is actually covered in the contract.
I disagree with that.
Okay. I've got 2 attorneys and a 27-year contract attorney that are saying yes.
Okay,
They are.
all right. I am not going to recommend that this council approve your draft.
And we can go through and upgrade yours. It's very expensive for the city to upgrade yours. The items on yours are easily adjusted.
Well, then why haven't they been?
So we received your memo
on April 21. You received my version on April 21.
Okay, it took us so long because we went through your contract. Again, if you look at the red, there is an astronomical amount. This is 40 hours worth of labor.
You were at the last meeting and when it was made clear that.
I understand.
That we were supposed to have a contract ready to vote on tonight. That was
Yes,
the idea. And
I
the problem
understand
is
that.
you're also now getting it for free still.
Yeah.
Can I see the contract with the red line, please?
I understand. The response I'm getting is what we were trying to avoid. That's why we gave what the state of Minnesota uses with the city's stuff, your city's requirements.
You're saying the state of Minnesota uses this one?
It's based on the state of Minnesota, yes.
This exact one?
No, it's not that way. It's got the vast majority of the state of Minnesota with city-specific requirements from the last meeting.
And in the state of Minnesota one, they talk about easement language and there's no workers' comp provision and there's no penalty provision.
Dealing with the workman's comp, I got moved on from the workman's comp. Workman's comp, when we contacted our insurance agent, this isn't a new insurance agent. They laughed. They've never, ever been asked for a workman's comp because that is publicly available at the state of Minnesota's website that I have written. Oh, where is it? Thank you. It's basically, it's a publicly available thing. They laughed at me when we were asking for workman's comp. It's part of payroll. I mean, if you're going to employ people, you're going to take out payroll taxes.
It should be easy for you to provide it.
Yes. We finally, the insurance agent basically said, yeah, I can go up to the state of Minnesota's website and do a screenshot of it. 100% correct. They're laughing at me because it's never been asked before. Again, this is a non-standard item. It's publicly available. Anybody can go look at the workman's comp. I don't understand why it's an issue. It's never been in contracts. It's not in the state's contracts.
Because
It's not
we
in the
want to
Minnesota
make
state's
sure,
contracts.
that during the duration of this contract that you carry workers' comp.
And you're asking for us to provide stuff every 30 days. That is so outside the norm.
10 days upon demand.
No, you are asking for every 30 days to provide proof of insurance.
And that's something that I put in because of interactions I've had with other entities that have demonstrated how your organization does business.
A lot of times with a COLA, if somebody needs to get onto the premises, they have to ask for a 24-hour notice to go on. If they submit a COLA and you have a year term for your COLA, but every time you need to go on that premises, you need to show proof that you still have that policy. And that's kind of, I think, what Tyler is asking for. You have to show proof if you're going up there that you have that coverage.
And in the event that there is an event, when we make a request for proof of insurance, we want it to be provided.
So we can take a screenshot of the workman's comp from the state of Minnesota. Will you guys accept a screenshot from the publicly available state of Minnesota's website? That's what it is.
I'm more concerned about the general liability.
Okay.
If there's an event, you should provide it within a certain amount of time.
That, I understand. I completely understand.
But there's
Named
nothing in
insurance.
there's nothing in there about providing that within a certain amount of time in your version.
If we are in default of something listed in the contract, it then reverts to defaults. Most of your items come back to, if we're not doing something in the contract, it reverts to the section that says we are in default, which gives the city a lot of ability.
I'm saying that my version makes default clearer.
And every 30 days to submit named proof of insurance. Insurance companies have never done that. Again, this is non-standard. We're taking personal attacks on Radio Link. It's personally targeted to Radio Link, is Radio Link Internet.
I'm
It's
gonna shut that down.
Well,
That's not what that is.
This is the most, besides the police station and city hall, this, in many ways, the water tower is more essential than this building. That is the most essential infrastructure that we have.
Agreed. And keep in mind, Radio Link Internet's been there. This is all new. We've been there since 2011. This all started because the contract submitted 2 years ago, we had questions and it disappeared. 2 years ago, we were trying to do the contract and there was typos. Everything disappeared. Typos in that, where it should have been us, it was the city. We owned this water tower or something 2 years ago?
But we're not talking about what happened. We can't talk about the past because we're not
Understand.
part of that. So going forward, we have to talk about this. That's kind of my theory. It's not going about the stuff what happened 2 years ago.
And we need a finished product brought to us as a council. We
Yeah.
need to hash it out.
Understood.
I'm to the point, for me, and this is my opinion for you guys, is I'm to the point is the amount that we were talking about having a contract to do, we're gonna spend way more than that, than just trying to discuss this contract, than it's even worth. I feel that just asking, giving that notice to them to decommission at this point, because we're never gonna get anything resolved without thousands of dollars for the city of New Richland taxpayers. Yes, there are people in the county that it is going to affect. Unfortunately, and I hate to have that happen, but we've also sent a letter to them earlier this spring about this, where they could potentially be looking for a new place to put their equipment. And I don't know if they've done that, and that's their choice if they did not. The other thing is people that live out in the county, they're not part of our taxpayer base. If they have a problem with only having one internet provider, they have to go to the Waseca County Commissioners meetings to discuss that. That's not on us. We are looking out only for our residents in New Richland who have to pay for all these things. That's my opinion on this. I feel that's where I'm at. And, I haven't a possible thought of what I'd like to do, but possible make a motion to do that. But I wanted to express mine and see what others thought first.
I believe that what Tyler said is we should have a finished product in front of us the next month to have it done. We don't.
Should have had that tonight.
That should have been tonight.
That's what I'm saying, but we haven't got it, so we should have it next month.
And there was no communication back except just them giving us I've never seen a business just do their own contract and not say, well, your contract has this, I don't like this language, let's discuss this. Instead of just writing up a whole new one. I just feel that's unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, red lines back and forth is.
Yeah, it's a red flag all around where our
That's
staff
how
is
you do
gonna
the
be,
contract negotiations.
yeah.
Change what you want to change.
I mean, we already have it where they admitted last meeting that they did not have a COLA of liability insurance with the equipment that's up there now.
But hang on, what,
So, I mean, and they have access to the water tower now. So if they go in there to do any work,
we have liability insurance.
we have not been provided with a COLA certificate that you do.
Was that requested and we missed that detail, kind of like the, was that requested?
We've talked about it the last couple of meetings and Mr. Petzinger had mentioned that he does not have a specific policy that gives additional for the city of Richland. I believe we talked.
As an additional insured.
So you want the named. So the thing with the named is when you become a named on insurance, unless there's limitations put on that, if somebody trips on that sidewalk out front, you can put up against Radio Link Internet Insurance. That's literally what our insurance agent told. As soon as you're named, it's a free-for-all for how you can use it. That is what our insurance agent told us is how that insurance works.
I'm not tracking with you there. So you're saying that because the city of New Richland is added as an additional insured on your tower rent, but if somebody slips and falls out here, that, well.
If there are not limitations put on being named, is what our insurance agent told us.
Okay.
That's why the contract we've got says it's dealing with the water tower. Yes, if something happens to the water tower, we do something to it, we are responsible, 100%.
I do have a question. I'm gonna kind of throw them in the spotlight here a minute because they are an insurance agent. Is Brenda, you deal with insurance for your job. Is that make any sense?
Well, I don't understand why, like, falling out here would have anything to do with the water tower.
Right. It would be specific for the water tower.
I frankly don't either.
Okay.
But there's a lot I haven't understood here.
Okay, that, we were told that unless there's limitations put on the name, it can be used for things not related to the contract.
I would assume your COLA with your insurance agent, you would be filing a
Well, the city
policy
can go
that would be
direct.
for the city of New Richland for the water tower where your equipment it is. And that's where it would just be for that specific thing.
So, and I think we might be using different terms. Becoming a named, which is both of us are saying, becoming a named on Radio Link Internet Insurance policy means it's fairly wide open, not tied to the water tower. That's why on our contract, we just put in, yes, absolutely named, dealing with the water tower.
Brenda, do you have?
There's a difference between a named insured and an additional insured. A named insured is, you know, Jan DeLure and Brenda Rowe.
Yes.
And then the additional insured is like, you just put the city of New Richland. You don't, you know, they're not asking to be listed here. You're asking to be enlisted as an additional insured to
On
do
top
with the
of what
water
ours.
tower.
Correct.
Yes.
So not named, but additional. So
Right.
that, can I see that back? I believe it's named. Sir, can I have our red line paperwork back?
Yeah.
That's the only copy I got.
That seems like a pretty straightforward thing to talk about on April 22nd.
So
Am I mistaken?
if you, if additional insured is all the city wants, great.
That's exactly what
easy.
mine says. 9.2 shall list the city of New Richland as an additional insured. And I took that language out of virtually every other contract that I've done over my 25 years, not as DC, but Minnesota attorney.
Okay.
I don't know why this has to be so hard. He has our proposal. They've had it since April 21. We didn't hear anything back until May 6th. May 6th, we got this. I guess I'm just going to point blank ask you. Are you guys rejecting our version?
No. No, not at all. It's, if we can address these items, 100%. It was
Clarification, if you are not rejecting, why replace? Instead of going back and forth and discussing it as part of a negotiation.
as I
apologize if I'm speaking out of turn.
No, you're,
No,
the
thank
same
you.
question I was gonna ask, so.
As the very first sentence I made, I was trying to avoid being antagonistic. The contract is a valid building rental contract. We are discussing a carrier co-location. If I send back a contract with every paragraph redlined, I'm gonna get the take it or leave it stance.
I
That's what I
personally,
was trying
I
to
personally would
avoid.
think that you're just suggesting changes to what we did, not being antagonistic. That's what I would.
Okay. Thank you. If we can, we'll be happy to submit. If there are questions for every paragraph, can we address these, please? We're happy to address them. We were trying not to upset you. It's been antagonistic. Seriously, this has been antagonistic. We've been at this for 4 months. And we just want a contract.
And I say, let's just have it fixed, just like you're talking. Let's fix it and talk about it and then bring back the finished product here in June.
Well, it's not us talking about it. It's, I mean, they're not even communicating back and forth. It's just handing this and then.
Yeah,
I mean, we're telling them to do that.
We told them that last time. We
Right.
told them
It
last
didn't
time.
happen. It just didn't happen.
But
It happened on our end. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
I see your point now.
And frankly, I think that for whatever reason, this is a stall tactic. We've been going since February and this is where we are. And if it's pushed to June, if it's pushed to July, if it's pushed to August.
Well,
We don't want, you guys don't want to be spending time on this. We don't. I want to be out working. The hours we've spent on this are astronomical. Everybody just wants this behind them.
I don't know. I feel like the amount of money that they're putting on behind the lawyers and everything else, they could pay us more too then.
We've already spent it.
I mean.
We've already spent it.
Well.
It's gone.
That's your choice, but, I guess I just.
The rent is still low.
Correct. But I mean, that was beside the point. So, I don't know, anybody have questions? Or want to discuss more here? What was everybody's thoughts here?
I thought we would, but like, we've been talking, so we pushed it back multiple months, and here we sit. And I feel like we've accomplished zero
And we've spent lots of money.
in the last, I don't know, 2 months of just getting stuff to where we should have a contract right now. That would have been discussed for 20 days before we even came back. And we have zero, and here we sit and listen to the same story for 3 months in a row. And what I'm gathering is it's just, we're just circling around to keep getting another month free. At this damn point, we should be going back to January 1 of payment. If we wanted to even initiate having them on our water tower. Because we are spending a ton of money. They might be spending money, but they're not spending any money. They're getting free service. And I was all for this at the beginning, and now the can just gets kicked down the road. It's not nothing's getting solved. I mean, reading the Jason's and then theirs, I don't know how we just have two different ones.
Yeah.
The contracts that I've done is, this is what we have. Okay. Oh, I want this back or whatever it may be. And we like I said, we've gotten zero.
If nothing else, having a second lease submitted seems way more antagonistic than, hey, these are the things we disagree on. Can we talk about it?
Yeah, I agree.
When we shouldn't have to ask on Monday, May 6th or whatever it was, Wednesday, May 6th for a response back, or Jason shouldn't have.
They've had my memo since May 6th.
What if we propose this, have a finished product for June, and if not, they're off the tower, right then and there.
Are you making that as a motion to see if
Yes, I'll make
anybody
it.
does that?
I got something.
Oh, you got something? Well,
Yeah, I believe we're holding the cards here, like
Mhm.
Jason said, and you want our contract or don't you?
As written, no.
Well, then take your stuff off the water tower. That's my thing. You know, it shouldn't be any contract I've entered in. I don't have to sit there and, I don't write another contract. You know, you either accept it or you don't. I mean,
For new business, yes, this is an existing, it's not.
well, it's almost like a new business because you guys haven't paid me rent for how many months? Or how many years, I should say.
Years.
In your contract, you don't have anything for late rental, whereas ours does. You have zero for, but you don't say anything about if the rent's late.
As far as interest, no. In 30, if we're late in 30 days, you kick us off. That's, again, it defaults and we go away. If you would rather limit and just do a percentage, we can do that. Okay. We were advised it was going to be upsetting to use your contract as a base.
I send
That is
people to
incorrect.
prison every week for 25 years. I have very thick skin.
Okay.
Sending me a red line version, in fact, I would have welcomed it.
Okay.
You guys have had this since April 21.
We've gone through okay. Yes, we went through your contract, we went through our contract and the memo because we were advised it would be severely upsetting. We were advised incorrect.
Mayor, may I suggest that we are just rehashing the same thing in
Yeah.
this conversation?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
All right, well,
I'll make the motion that Joey wanted to make. If you don't agree with this right now, take the stuff off the top.
Do you want to set a timeline?
you want to set a time, yeah.
30 days.
How much time would you need to remove your stuff?
I can't answer that right now. I have to have Daniel, look at this. There's
60 days, 90?
So just to notify people is minimum 30 days after the letter's written and mailed. So we've got post office is generally 15 days. So yeah, 45 days just for notifying people.
Then I'll
Oh,
modify
no,
it.
oh, no.
I'll modify it to 60
Oh,
days.
no.
So post office is not 15 days for local?
No.
No, and we assume, so there.
How about
People need to
60
be notified
60
30
days in
days.
November?
I'll make it 60 days.
I don't know.
I'll propose
Go ahead,
that
I'll-
with my
I think-
motion.
Would that work for you then?
Well, I think we can set,
Again,
them-
it's
we've already
yours.
notified them once before where there's the potential of this, so they've already had some that this is coming. So I feel 60 days,
Yes.
but you have a motion kind of on the, partially on the table. What is your full
I'll
motion?
say, if they don't take the contract that we have tonight, then I say we'll give them 60 days to take their equipment off.
I am not authorized to
He
approve
can,
that
yeah, he
contract
can.
right here.
Yeah.
So we have to make a decision if we're just done negotiating is basically what we have to do is if we're no longer gonna, we're backing out and saying we're not gonna negotiate more. Can we do that?
Yes.
Then I'll change my motion.
So motion did not enter into contract?
Did not enter the contract, take the equipment off within 60 days. Got a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Where are we at?
New
business?
April check register, as we previously discussed, is not prepared yet. Let me scroll down to administrator report. I will make this as short and sweet as I can. It's already.
Okay. All right. Next administrator.
Yeah. Of course, Adobe wants to play stupid games with me. Second.
Tell it to stop.
I keep doing it, it's just not listening.
Mine works.
You don't like to read it?
Excellent. The first thing up on there though is, did Eric Hendrickson's, annual review. He's performing at and above his level. I
agree.
Give him high marks. I recommend that he, be moved up a step. It's already been budgeted for. His next step is as follows: grade 5, step 7, $32.84 an hour.
And Braden's on family leave, correct?
He is, yes, he is flying solo right now.
Okay.
Mike Abbott is out on vacation and he's not, I brought my jeans and a reflective shirt in so I can mow if I need to jump in. That's where he's at right now.
All right.
We make sure we keep hot and coffee going all day.
You need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the maintenance supervisor of next step of grade 5, step 7 at $32.84 an hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
City Hall repainting mural?
So we got 2 estimates back for repainting. Came in within $700 of each other. The first one came in at $5,876.56. That was Michael's painting. That's who did the concession stand, Crow's Nest building out there. Eric had nothing but good things to say about the finished product. He said that the time was a little bit slower, but the work and the price tag made up for that. The other one, Northview Painting, came in at $6,573.60. They came in and solicited me. I can't speak to the quality of their work at the time in this. I think one
I was
of
gonna
them
say,
is-
what's the paint difference
Yeah,
there?
what the hell? Yeah.
I just bought a gallon of paint for next year.
Where's Northview from?
I couldn't speak to that.
No, this is just painting the outside of the building.
Yes.
One color. Or trim to.
Northview was gonna redo the red and blue stripe as well up front. But yes.
For the ambulance and all that stuff. Okay.
And effectively, they're a horse apiece. Michael's is a known quantity. They're slower, but they do a good job.
You want something tonight?
We don't have to do it tonight. We can keep gathering because I don't think this is gonna be.
Can we confirm that paint price? Because I feel like that is way
Yeah, no, no.
low. I don't want any surprises later that it's,
Yes,
$2,000 later.
If it is, that's tough luck.
Well, I just bought a gallon.
You gotta stay 10%.
I just bought a gallon to do a small project, a garage door, and it was $140. So I wanna know where he gets paint.
Makes his own.
Makes his own.
All right. So that doesn't need to go for a vote tonight, so we don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Next item.
Oh, that's why I just sent an email to Shell tonight. Okay.
Minnesota Rural Water Seminar, up in, Nisswa. I also went to another one in, Stewartville last month or the month before, talking about project funding and lead service line replacement and all of the options that are available as far as how we could get funding for various water projects, whether it be fresh or clean water or fresh water, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Effectively, all boils down to getting on the project priority list. So the window for that's already closed for this year. So we'd have to apply by at least March of next year. And then if we get onto the list, they rank us in priority. And then we would basically be on the list until the funding comes up and we're high enough up on the list.
Shell needs to write her sob story of what we
Yes.
need out there.
I haven't told her.
Yep, there we go.
And
I just emailed
Ready to
her,
go.
I just emailed her that funding program so she could look at it.
And each of the projects needs to have its own entry on the priority list. So it will be working with our engineer
Yeah.
to say, this stretches this project, this stretches this project. And they don't care if we shotgun blast them with projects.
You could have everything. The whole wish list can go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of it, like there's a low threshold for it. And like if we wanted to redo like phase 2 of our water plant, that might not hit that threshold for the priority list. But it is possible to creatively bundle things together to make it part of the same project. It just, the metric doesn't quite work the same, it's not super successful. But there is other funding opportunities, including like direct funding, where basically it's just, we apply for a loan at the bank and we fund. And so there's a lot of different options. It's just gonna be more important than the funding. It's gonna be working with the engineers to narrow down the scope of our projects to figure out what we can actually justify. Most of these aren't just grants. Most of them are like revolving funds and loans and such. So we need to be cognizant that we might only get 20% of a project up to a certain amount for a project. So if we're potentially tapped out on bond, I'm not saying we're there, but if we get to that point, we could have a lot of obligated debt that we're just carrying year to year to year to get these things done too. And so it's going to be, I think we need to sit down and come up with a strategic plan to figure out with the engineer to know what our next step is going to be.
We need to put up, like we've talked before, a 5-year plan of what needs to get done out there, and this is the first step of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Because-
I mean, this is all of our infrastructure.
Yeah.
And the good news is that some of these things, when you open up the road to go down and replace the sewer line, we have an opportunity to replace our freshwater line, but part of that is that they repave the street above it. So, you know, we could potentially come out okay if we are thoughtful and creative about the whole thing. But it's not gonna be fast. Like, we're talking 3 years before we break ground on the first thing.
Yeah, but at least we got a plan.
Yeah, that's the first step.
Is this memorandum for the rural water seminar, have you got it as a separate PDF, not part of the packet?
I can
Email to me?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
You should be able to get on their website too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want his stuff that he's got here.
We can do that.
Like the funding stuff and.
Well, just all his comments.
Okay.
Their site is very cool.
It's,
Yeah, it's.
You do a lot on that.
And next time that those things are available, I can absolutely drag you guys to them. Like, that's not limited to city administrators. And, you know, you might glean a piece of information, having lived in this town a lot longer than I've worked in this town, that you can say, oh, that clicked something. So I would highly encourage participation in that. The MCMA conference, just a little follow-up. It was held April 29th through May 1st at Adams and Gold Lake. It was a lot of the bulk of it was kind of leadership focused, but there were breakout groups that were more technical focused, including remaining politically neutral in the increasingly political world, and then workplace flexibility as a benefit rather than an abstract thought. So I know a lot of cities are going towards workplace flexibility as the thing that is attracting better talent and all those things, and also helping with retention. It costs a lot of money to bring somebody on board and lose them and then have them do it again. So there's a balance there that I think we're doing generally pretty well, but there's always room for improvement on everything. So that was one of the topics of conversation. The after hours and before hours networking opportunities, met a lot of great resources and other city administrators, including a city administrator and chief of police, as we talked about earlier, that was like, oh yeah, we've got this gear. Email me, we'll see if we can hand it down to you. And I mean, if we got a tenth of what they were offering, if we could use a tenth of what they were offering, you paid for me to go to that conference and that's some. And just resources that I have now in my Rolodex for, I can call this person to get an answer on how this thing actually works.
Nice.
So I would say this was an extremely valuable training to go to. Citywide cleanup day. We kind of talked about this. I don't need to rehash this as everything has already been said, except for I'd like to remind residents that the normal Thompson sanitation dumping location is approximately 7 miles north on Highway 13. It's open year round, and that dumping anything other than yard materials at the city dump on South Broadway is not permissible. And that even comes with caveats that logs of certain sizes and things like that aren't allowed. It doesn't burn down. Like, the guys just have to sit there and stare at a fire for days if they do that. So just want to remind the residents that it is far more a privilege than anything else, and that we need to follow the rules on that to keep it a thing.
You're talking about the recycle place up
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
solar.
Yeah, it's also.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Oh, sorry.
Because I didn't know.
Sorry.
it was-
My mistake.
I didn't think that was Thompson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
My mistake.
Oh, okay.
they have been finding a lot of garbage and everything again at the city dump. A lot.
They got cameras there, and like trail camera.
Open them up and find
I
out.
know who's got proof of stuff,
This way.
so,
Open it up
yeah,
and find the letter.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea to literally buy $50 trail cams to put out there. So if this continues, then yes, I don't blame the guys for wanting to lock it all up because.
Well, and you don't even need approval for the cameras at $50, so.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do
Go
it.
ahead and do it.
Well, the cameras get the
And
license
just a
plate.
reminder to people that listen and watch these videos, there's a lot of people down the streets that have cameras on the outside of their houses. So
Then it gets trickier.
no
when we
matter
have-
what time you go and dump, so we will find you.
It might be trickier if they don't want to give that information up to be the one to have to show that
Yeah.
footage, where if we have our own cameras, we can pull that information and not have to have somebody feel awkward that they have to provide that and get the blame put on them from a resident. Drew's nodding his head, so I'm assuming.
So like for ordinance violations or like smaller matters, you would need like a witness, like statement.
Uh-huh.
So if we actually had things in place to prevent that, it would make the process so much.
I have a question for Jason Rand though on that. So putting up cameras, do we have to display that we are recording out there?
not.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure while we're here, we can discuss that.
Nope.
So no one could come back later and say,
Or we can put up a sign saying we are and we're not.
yes, true.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just not moving forward.
Beware of big
Take some
dogs,
pictures.
it's
Right.
on a leash.
Yeah.
Park shelter renderings, the committee that's working to revitalize the New Richland City Park is requesting the city work with Bolton to obtain renderings and materials to assist in fundraising efforts. Renderings would depict a picnic shelter with unisex bathroom, service counter with electric outlets and roll-up doors to secure the building during inclement weather in winter months. Will be in the same location as the current, I believe it's condemned building. I wrote condemned, I'm hoping it is.
Bad shape.
The one that's got lead and asbestos and whatever else potentially.
Yeah.
Will be in the same location. I was in discussions with Drew at Bolton and Mengtes from the cost. Came back with a not to exceed price of $4,000. Include a virtual kickoff meeting to align goals and expectations, a couple draft concepts, and a polished final version for using fundraising materials. I think that would be a good idea for the city, whether it be all of us or a liaison from the council to be involved, just to ensure that the community is happy with the design and it's not a one-sided thing. I know that $4,000 is a lot because we have nothing in that part of the budget for it right now. I don't think that this necessarily has to be a right now ask. This could easily be added into a next year's budget ask. And it might hamper their fundraising efforts a little bit, but I don't see much of a different way to do it right now.
I think they have some ideas of starting some of the fundraiser process,
Yeah,
anyway, even if we don't have anything going, but
Yep, I believe they're gonna be doing something at Farm and City Days,
Mm-hmm.
starting to kick off.
yeah.
But they're,
Yep. And then-
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, everybody please join. Brandy's the head of it, but I'm backing her up behind her, doing all this with her. There's a Facebook page about it. So that's where she's gonna post, aside from going door to door and just putting stuff out, that's where she's gonna post pictures of what might potentially, so that people can vote. So still on there, community very much involved, so please find the Facebook page and join it, because that's where a lot of the communication will be
What's
on
it
that.
called?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Would it be permissible if we put that information out on the city Facebook page for that other group?
Sure.
Or I can even put it on the newsletter as well.
Just like
Share their
request.
request.
Yeah.
Their page from our page.
Yep.
And if they're not technically a city entity or not even remotely a city entity.
Sure,
it's
park is
sure
sure.
we're-
I mean, we post things about Farm and City Days here, so I don't see why we can't for this
Yeah.
either. So I mean, why not?
Well, it benefits the whole entire community, it's the whole community.
Yeah,
More eyes on it, the better.
yeah. Even a link on our website for them to go right to it.
Do that.
And that is the entire administrative report.
Make a motion to approve the administrator.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council have anything to add tonight? All right,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Amanda, can I just make a comment? I just really want to thank you guys for all the time and the effort and the thought that you have put into the Radio Link project. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.